Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Tim Braden, Second Legacy. You are amazing, and thank you for showing up. Oh, do we have a show for you guys. Me and Tim are going to wander into the auspices of The View. Then we're going to go take a little left turn into former Attorney General Eric Holder. Then we're going to take a proper right turn back into GOA where they slapped them profusely. And you're going to love every second of it. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. You can't get sarcasm and humor in a Pro 2A format like this anywhere else. So make sure you guys do that. And Tim.
Yes.
I'm sorry in advance. We have to talk about The View. We have to show them. It's necessity for freedom.
Well, but I just want to point out that I woke up again this morning, and twice now, Sonny has had to make an on-air legal retraction
Legal
to something.
note.
Yeah, that she said that was defamatory and would likely expose The View to legal action. So this is the second one that she has, the second basically apology, legalese apology she's had to make. But go ahead, yes.
Yeah. No, it's so tasty and delicious. Oh, it's amazing. So, of course, the world is on fire. Tim, we talked about this yesterday in our episode about the Biden pardoning Biden. Baby Biden gets a little love from his dad. At the same time, they destroy the Democratic talking points and brand forever. It's a great thing to see. But The View can't be left out. So we've got 2 timestamps here. And then we're going to tie all of this together. You guys might be surprised where this ends up. So, Dr. Slides, if you can throw up the first one, we'll hit, I think Whoopi Goldberg starts this.
It is a president's prerogative. People can say, why are you doing that? But that's what presidents do every time. They do it every time they pardon somebody. So I'm not sure why the pearl clutching is happening now, except that that's what folks want to do. But it seems kind of foolish. You kind of knew he was going to do it, given all that's happened, but maybe I'm just kooky.
So I see this one a little bit differently, and some of you know this, but I grew up with an immediate family member who was in and out of jail for addiction-related offenses when I was growing up, and now a decade later, clean, have their life together, serve their time, are still dealing with the consequences. Inability to vote at time, paying restitution, working to get your record expunged, not being able to be eligible for certain employment. Most Americans, if they face consequences for actions that they took, they're going to have to face them. And nobody powerful and politically connected is going to come sweep in and save them. And I think, this feeds the notion to a lot of this country that there's simply a different set of rules for folks in power. And when we sit here and we say a lot like, well, Donald Trump did X, Y, and Z, and how did he get elected? Because to a lot of this country, it just becomes noise. They think that if you commit crimes and somebody powerful and connected in D.C., right, left, center, Biden, Trump, you're going to be able to get away with it if you have someone on your side. And that's not how it is for everyday folks.
Did you hear? Hold on. Did you hear what she said, though? She goes like, you have consequences if you're a convicted felon, basically. And one of those things that she said is like, you can't do this, can't do that. And sometimes he's not able to vote. Sometimes?
Occasionally? Whatever.
He's not able to vote 20 or 30 times like he normally does. It's, as a felon, it's more challenging to be able to vote more often.
But you know what? The good ones overcome.
Yeah. But look, I mean, what is so funny about, you listen to, Whoopi over there, and she's like, well, it didn't surprise any of us. But these are the same people that when Biden was out there saying, I will not pardon my son, when the press secretaries are out there saying we will absolutely will not pardon President Biden will definitely not pardon Hunter, all this stuff. And what she's saying there is she knew it was a lie and she was okay with that.
And propagated it anyway. 100%. Dude, per usual, you are so over the target all the time, man. I freaking love it. That's the takeaway. On my own political analysis on this, the damage that this has done, not to Biden and Hunter Biden, everyone knew, even she said it, everyone knew he was going to get pardoned. We talked about it for 2 freaking years.
Of course.
However, the moral superiority play that the Democrats were using around this just got them all hand caught in the cookie jar moment, because they literally cannot do the moral superiority anymore.
No.
Everything that they've run on, including gun control, and this is where it all gels together. This is really important because we're about to take a pivot. Everything that they've campaigned on, everything that they've said, Tim, from a standpoint of it's just for saving the children. If we could save one life, it's worth it. What about abortion? Shut up. If we could just save one child's life, we can infringe everyone's rights. That's their whole talking point, their moral superiority. Now it's completely out the window. Every Town for Gun Safety, Giffords.org, guys, understand, this just scuttle them, torpedo under the waterline, because anytime they try the moral superiority move, people like me and Tim can nuke them from orbit on this crap.
So, and I did this morning, one of my tweets this morning, I posted a couple hours ago. I just said, so it's safe to say that Giffords, Moms Demand Action, the Brady Bunch, et al. All agree lying on a 4473 form and having a history of drug use when buying a gun isn't really a crime. Not one of these clown organizations has said anything publicly about Hunter Biden being pardoned. Crazy.
Valid point, Tim.
Right. So it's so wild, but they did post this morning. So after I made that post, they, Giffords, I believe it was. Yes, Giffords did make a post and they said, every year 44,000 people in America die from gun violence. This is just unacceptable, folks. And, and so this was their post this morning. Interesting, though. They did not allow comments. And I think I know why that they blocked comments this morning. I said, and this is what I posted to that one. I said, gee, they're back to blocking responses. I wonder why. Probably because 100% of the comments would have been, if you're so in favor of banning guns and enforcing unconstitutional laws, then why are you silent on the Hunter Biden pardon?
Exactly. Dude, this is why we are winning, guys. We are winning in the 2A space. We are driving towards victory. It's not done yet. There's going to be setbacks, but we are moving in the right direction quickly. Yeah. It's because of stuff like this. Public opinion, people see this crap. Every town, all the gun control groups that Tim just mentioned did not say a peep about any of this. Mm-mm. They literally, their whole career is propagating gun control. This is a perfect opportunity.
And they're not only not saying anything, they're continuing their propaganda, but now they're just blocking people from responding because they don't want to hear it. They don't want to be told they're hypocrites.
I'll tell you what, it is good to be on this side of things, isn't it? It is nice. Well, now we're going to take a little pivot, Tim. Same episode of The View, and we're going to go into more moral elitism around gun control and some other things that really are interesting. So with that, Dr. Slide, let's hit timestamp number 2, please.
And, so pleased with the hypocritical pearl clutching by this country. Eric Holder, I think, said it really well. No U.S. attorney would have charged this case given the underlying facts that have been investigated for 5 years. Less than, get this, 0.09% of people are indicted, prosecuted, charged, and found guilty of lying on a gun form. The only reason that Hunter Biden was gone after and charged, indicted, and found guilty was because his name wasn't Joe Smith, it was Hunter Biden. And that's the truth of it. You've got Eric Holder saying it. You've got former prosecutors like myself saying it. So,
why didn't he admit it earlier?
Wait.
I think one of the reasons why he didn't admit it earlier was because he didn't know that the felon in chief would become the next president.
So this part is so fascinating to me, Tim. Here's the big elephant in the room. Are you ready for the elephant? It's huge. Mm-hmm. It's big and gray. If only 0.09% of people are convicted for violating a federal law on a gun form, and they're minimizing it on the left, the gun-controlling left, why do we have that gun form?
Well, I just shared a tweet from GOA from this morning.
That's where we're going next. Nice one. That's the tweet we're using next. Good job.
Here's the truth. Okay, folks. So what GOA posted, and just for the sake of, transparency, I am the state director for GOA for Indiana. So yes, I am partial to GOA. Okay. But GOA said this morning, and this is the truth, they're citing facts from the government itself. Mm-hmm. What a lie. 96.9% of Americans charged with the same statute as Hunter get jail time with an average sentence of around 60 months.
Yep. Dude, it's so incredible. Guys, a little behind the scenes. I hadn't shown Tim the next slide that we were going to pull up, the next tweet, and he actually went to it immediately. This is the exact same one. That's incredible. So one thing that they highlighted in this, just because I have it pulled up and I can navigate it, Dr. Slides, if you can zoom in to the highlighted point underneath punishment real quick, right there. If you guys zoom in here, it literally says on a federal form, 96.9% of felon in possession of a firearm offenders were sentenced to prison. Sentences varied widely by whether a mandatory minimum penalty applied in the case. 96.9%. But Tim, I thought she just said 0.09, and everyone knew. Eric Holder knew. Everyone knew. I thought it was like, this is political malfeasance. Oh my God, their own forms destroy them again.
Yep. Well, because look, the people watching The View are just going to take everything they say as the gospel. They're not going to get on the internet and look up the actual facts. They can't be bothered with this. And look, this is a problem that's ongoing with the media. This is why the trust in the media is now in like the single digits with most people. About half of the people that identify as Democrats, I have the chart somewhere, still believe in the mainstream media. About 10% of Republicans have any faith in the mainstream media. The reason for that is because the mainstream media constantly makes up their facts. They tell you whatever their opinion is. It's not news and it's not a fact. It's what their opinion or spin is. And people are sick and tired of it. And this is all The View's doing. Now, The View is not intended to be a news organization. They're supposed to talk about news events and give opinion and commentary. But here they're clearly lying.
They're manipulating.
Clearly lying. And they're not just a little bit off. They're not a little bit off. They're like 0.6%. No, try 96.6%. The other way around, sweetheart.
Correct. So now, that was so awesome you pulled that one up. That's great. Let's look at the actual tweet from Eric Holder that she referenced here. So Eric Holder is the AG for Barack Obama. This was not a small guy. Okay, listen to what he said, and she kind of paraphrased it. Effectively, no U.S. attorney would have charged this case, given the underlying facts. After a 5-year investigation, the facts as discovered only made that clear. Had his name been Joe Smith, the resolution would have been fundamentally and more fairly a declination, which basically says no charges pressed. Pardon was warranted. Okay.
What about that poor mother that is still sitting in jail?
Newport News, Virginia. Yep.
Yeah. But it never happens, folks. Never happens.
And then here's the pivot. Listen to this pivot in the exact same tweet. Ask yourself a vastly more important question. So pivoting away from the Hunter Biden thing, do you really think that Kash Patel is qualified to lead the world's preeminent law enforcement investigative organization? Obvious answer, hell no. What? Like, excuse me?
They're scared.
They're terrified. What they are is terrified. They are so scattered, and they're mixing their propaganda along with their freaking bedwetting nervousness.
Dude, this is not uncommon. You remember when James Comey got in front of I remember what I was doing. I was driving to the long range. I was listening to the radio, and James Comey came on the news, and he gave a news conference where he was breaking down all the crimes of Hillary Clinton, from blit beaching her phone, smashing them, having an illegal mail server in her house, transmitting communications across unsecured lines, all prosecutable offenses. I thought, I was ready to pull the Jeep over and go, oh my goodness, they're going to do it. They're going to prosecute her. And then at the very end of him spending 20 minutes breaking down every crime she had committed, he said she committed these crimes. He then goes on to say, but I do not recommend charges.
Yeah, it's not
even his place to do that. All the FBI is supposed to do is gather the facts. That's what a grand jury is for, but it never made it that far.
Mm-hmm.
And here Eric Holder is using the exact same line that Comey used back in 2016. Nobody would bring these charges, except for the thousands of Americans sitting in jail for the exact same charge.
Well, of course. I mean, it makes sense, though.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so that's what The View's up to. The propaganda machine is really trying to get footing and traction again after they get just destroyed by Biden yet again from the inside, which is kind of funny and hilarious. Yeah. But what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments field.
Yeah, let us know in the comments field. I mean, because The View is such a great source of information because, remember when they were telling us that Joe Biden was the sharpest he'd ever been? The guy could play Connect Four, chess, and checkers at the same time and beat, whatever that Russian dude's name is that beat Deep Blue, the supercomputer. I mean, Biden was just on top of his game. But you know what? We're sorry he's mentally dead and we need to bring in this other candidate. This is the information you get from The View, folks. It's there for comic relief, and that's about it. And we're thankful for that because we love our comedy. Thank you for watching Second Legacy, and we'll talk to you guys soon.